When we came to Bonheur, we learned more about what was going on in Beck's brain in 3 days than we had in the previous 4 years of searching for answers. So we knew immediately that we were in the right place. Beck was born a healthy baby boy, but we noticed that he was starting to be a little bit delayed in his developmental milestones. One night we had him sleep in our room, and we woke up to what was later confirmed to a tonic-clonic seizure.
So when we look at a child and we're trying to figure out if they have seizure, sometimes it's really easy. I mean, if a child falls out of his desk at school and he's on the ground and he's convulsing, no one misses that. Beck's were a little bit trickier maybe to begin with because his were only at night.
So his seizures continued to get worse, and he'd be transported to the hospital, and they would start doing an EEG for him, and the EEGs would come back normal. So we sought a second opinion and a third opinion and a fourth opinion, and each time we were told that things didn't really make sense because we were reporting that he was having these serious seizures, but his testing was normal. Everything was just dismissed, 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 dismissed. So it was at that point that I started researching level 4 epilepsy centers, and I knew that Bonheur had an excellent reputation, and I knew specifically their neuroscience institution was something that is really well respected in the epilepsy community. So one day I got the courage to make a call to the epilepsy unit coordinator. She spent over an hour on the phone with me, and she reassured me as a really scared mom. She said, "Melinda, I want to tell you that Bonheur will not give up on Beck. I know that they will continue searching until we find what's going on." And when we came to Bonheur, from day one, we felt heard, we felt believed, we felt like we didn't have to explain, that they could clearly see that something was wrong, and they got right to work at trying to find a solution.
Yeah, so when we make a kind of a diagnosis of epilepsy, there's other kind of ancillary testing that really supports our diagnosis. So in the modern era, good imaging of the brain, so usually that's MRI. Another critical part in the modern era, especially for young children, is genetic testing. So we're discovering more and more causes of seizures that are genetic, some of which modify our treatment. Not all of them yet, but some do. And then other technology, if we're pretty convinced that's it, to kind of help guide us with treatment. And one of those that we've had a long track record at Bonheur with is the MEG, or magnetoencephalography.
That ended up being the missing piece. That when we combined it with all of the other testing that he had done, was able to show us that he was having focal seizures, but they were really deep in his brain. So the reason why all of his other previous EEGs were normal is because the EEG tests were not sensitive enough to detect what was going on. So my husband and I kind of felt like we were crazy parents insisting that something was wrong, but I'm really glad that we followed our intuition that led us to Bonheur, and that we were able to get him the testing needed and a team that was willing to put all the pieces together to figure out what was going on with Beck and how to help him.